block button is right there. You can block them super easily. Do it. Don't have any second thoughts. You don't have to be unique in everything you do. It's unique because it's you. Because honestly, I felt like I was gonna be judged. Now. Start now. Being like, I feel great every single day. Balls to the walls. Or die. Squat or die. Sorry. Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Alene and today I'm gonna be talking about growing your Instagram. I have a fitness Instagram and I currently have like 241,000 followers. So we're gonna be talking about how to grow. Like this plant. Grow. Although, I didn't grow this, I bought it. So, don't buy your followers though. Before we get started, if you guys want to like and subscribe, please do. It's going to be a very helpful video and I think you guys are going to get a lot from it. First, I'm going to start off with talking about how I personally grew my Instagram from ground zero and up, 0 followers and up. And then I'm going to go into general tips that I still use today and I think are really helpful. And a lot of these tips I haven't really heard other people talk about. So I also give you some very good applications that I use in making my captions and other things. So like and subscribe and let's get into it. I was editing my video and I realized there was a few really important things I just needed to mention at the beginning of the video. So here it is. The first is be unapologetically you. When you begin an Instagram or anything, be you. Don't try to be anyone else. Don't try to be something you're not, because it won't make you happy in the long run and it won't come off as authentic. And authenticity is great. People are so attracted to authenticity and that's just like that's a great way to grow your page. Is just be authentic and be yourself. Share your vulnerabilities, share your stories, because people will resonate with that. There's like, what, 7.8 billion people in the world? There are people who resonate with the struggles that you're going through and everything that you're going through, whether it be ups and downs. So be you. Plus, people can tell when you're being fake, okay? The other thing is be nice to everyone, and followers don't mean everything, okay? Your follower count does not mean anything in a lot of different ways, because the main thing is you're not going to be for everyone, and that's okay. And you don't want the people who are annoyed by you. I'm sure I annoy people and they don't follow me because I annoy them. I don't want people who dislike me to be following me. So don't be sad if people unfollow you. I lose at least 300 followers a day, but I gain them. And I'm happy to be gaining people who resonate with me and who vibe with me and want to be seeing my content, rather than the people who are unfollowing that don't. There's so many people, okay? There's not a limited pool. Plus, even if you're like trying to get brand deals or anything, like I know like micro influencers that make more through brands and stuff than people with 500,000 followers. It doesn't matter, okay? So just be unapologetically you. And everything I say in this video is just through my own experiences, my own lens. So do what you want with it. It's not Bible. Create your own experience and find what works for you and your page and what you're trying to do, because that's what's most important. Anyways, it's a great video though. Watch it all the way through. I've had my Instagram for about 2.5 years and it took me a year to reach 10K, and then after that, I mean, in the 1.5 years I've grown like 230,000. So when I first started my Instagram, I made a separate account from my personal Instagram account, and I did this for a few reasons. One is that, like, you know, if I'm following someone from high school and maybe I was friends with them then, I'm not as good friends with them anymore, but like I still want to see their stuff. I still like want to know what they're up to, but I don't necessarily want to see them be posting every day. I might not be that into it. I don't know. That's not what I signed up for when I followed their account. So for me, I was just like, I don't want to submit people into having to see things that they don't want to see and like growing reluctant about that. So I just made a whole other account. Start the slate clean. Plus you can post your other photos on the other account. It's kind of nice to have that break. So obviously when you're starting a fresh account, you're starting with 0 followers, which is not the best, but we can fix that. And you know, it's not the best because if an account follows me and I see that they have like 10 followers, I'm not as tempted to follow them. But if an account follows me that has like 300,000 followers, I'm definitely more 10,000. I'm more tempted to follow because I can see that like that many people wanted to follow them. So there must be something good about the account, right? And it's just us being lazy. It's just judging it by the followers being lazy. People are lazy. So first, we're gonna get our followers count up. All this time, you're gonna be posting good content, posting exactly how you're gonna keep posting, and I'll go into that after we start with building your followers. And what I personally did, so I made the new account, I just followed 5 of my closest friends and no other acquaintances or people I knew, because honestly, I felt like I was gonna be judged, even by some of my like semi-good friends, which is dumb, but it's also true, and I just didn't want to feel like restrained in my posting. I didn't want to feel self-conscious of what I was posting because I wanted it to be me and I wanted it to be fully me. So yeah, I followed like my 5 good friends, and then I kind of warmed up my other people by starting posting on my Snapchat stories, just like a selfie after a gym, just like a little, you know, post a little like workout clip, whatever you want to do, post a selfie after the gym. So then they're kind of like, oh, you know, she's putting in work, she's doing good, okay, I'm impressed. People kind of get warmed up to it, and then later I follow them. I started following people after I hit 500 followers, and that's when I followed like my acquaintances and other people, and people are more inclined to follow you then because it's not just like a 10 follower account. Okay, so to get 500 followers, what I did, I would look up hashtags that are relevant to me, like hashtag fitness journey, and what you do is you sit on that hashtag and you scroll and you like and you scroll and you like every picture, just like watch TV. Scroll, like, it's like mindless. Like, you don't need to be reading, you don't need to be looking at it. Just scroll and like and look up different hashtags that are related to the niche you want to be in. Now, some of these people that you like their pictures, they're going to follow you and you're going to follow them back because they're like a follow for follow kind of people or whatever. I don't know, but they'll follow you and you have to follow them back, otherwise they'll unfollow you a lot of the times. But you do that and you just follow them back, and you're gonna be following random weird accounts that you might not necessarily want to be seeing all the time, but just stick with me. So you just keep doing that, following back the people that follow you. And honestly, I just basically did that till I reached 500 followers, and I was posting my good content as I would and as I still continue to do. Once I hit 500 followers, I was like, okay, now I'm gonna follow my acquaintances and like broader friends and just people I know, because they're gonna be more likely to follow me and I won't feel as self-conscious now because it's not just me posting to 10 people. And then as more people start following you, you know, you're hitting a few more, you can slowly start unfollowing people. And this is also where it might be good to have a follower tracker. There's lots of different apps for it. I forget which one I use because I deleted it a long time ago. You don't want to keep that forever. And you also want to be able to separate yourself from it, because you don't have to get the follower tracker. But the reason I had it is because I'm following a bunch of random accounts that I don't really want to see. If they unfollow me, I definitely want to unfollow them. But once you start following your acquaintances and stuff, you have to remember that there are going to be people that you're friends with that you know that are going to unfollow you. And you have to be able to separate that, because you can still be friends. You can still be friends with Jess, and you can still be friends with Nick, and they unfollow you. They might not want to be seeing your content every day, and that doesn't mean that they dislike you. That doesn't mean that it's a personal insult. It doesn't mean that you're annoying. It just means that they're not into seeing that content every day. So you gotta separate yourself, because it's not a big deal. So that is how I grew my account initially, and honestly, I continued to do the scroll and like through hashtags for a long time, just because I wanted to continue to grow, and it was a way that I found that I could. Honestly, it took me a year to get to 10,000 followers, and then after that it went up exponentially for a while. Then I would have breaks where it just kind of plateaued, and then it would go up again, and it went a lot quicker once you reach a higher number. That was how it went for me. That's not necessarily how it will go for you. And also keep in mind that followers does not mean everything. You just want a high engagement rate. I know from some of my companies that micro influencers can earn way more than macro influencers with brands and commission and stuff, because you build such a relationship with the person. And so followers is not everything. So followers is not everything. I think the main focus should be, for me, it's just that I want a broader audience to help, to spread positivity, to spread some fitness tips, to get some girls strong, and just be more friends, have more friends, you know? General kind of tips that I continue to use all the time, and other things I think helped grow my platform, is first, let me begin by saying that I am at an advantage just because I am conventionally attractive, and I'm white, and I have access to a lot of things. Like, I had access to a good gym, I had access to plenty of Whole Foods, I have an athletic build, so I'm naturally leaner, and for fitness especially, you can show off your muscles more, and people are just tend to be more attracted to those kind of pages, just like visually. But that being said, I think there is plenty of room, and I would love for there to be more influencers and people with bigger pages that are not what you might typically see in your feed. There's been so many more accounts like that recently, and we love to see that. So don't think there's not room for you, or don't think that you can't grow your page because something that you feel like is a limiting factor, because you can. You just need people to relate to you. That's one of the top things. So actually, I'll put that as like our number one good tip. I don't know where we're starting. Should we number it? I don't know. Let's just, okay. No particular order these tips, but we'll start with the first one, is your hangout factor, okay? Amanda Bucci, I feel like, coined this term, but it's coined your hangout factor. So if you follow any influencers or anyone, a lot of them you follow and you're like, damn, they seem cool, like I would hang out with them in real life. That's your hangout factor. And you build relationships with people that you see and that you trust. And if you don't seem like someone that I would hang out with, like maybe you seem kind of mean, you seem like, I don't even know. But if it doesn't seem like someone I would want to hang out with, then I'm probably not going to follow them, because it's just not someone that I want to be seeing on my feed and surrounding myself with. Because everyone you follow, you're basically, I mean, it's your friends too, like you're seeing them every day. So you want to have some good hangout factor. I don't know, like, do you guys feel like you would hang out with me? I feel like I give off some good vibes, so I feel like I have a good hangout factor. The next tip I definitely did when I started my page, I just modeled my content off of things that I wanted to see off of other people's pages. So I had followed fitness people for a while, and by that time I knew what I liked seeing from accounts and what I didn't like seeing. So I made a point to incorporate the things that I wanted to see in those accounts into my own account, and make sure I didn't incorporate the things I didn't like. So like making captions informative and making pictures visually appealing, and not like trying to be sexy in every photo, or not smiling. That was one of the things I went into my accounts. I was like, when I create an account, I'm gonna be smiling in majority of my pictures, because smiling's fun. Like, there's no reason to be frowning all the time, trying to look like sexy. I don't know. Which I guess, you know what? That's fine. It's on my page, but that's what I wanted my page to be. So just model your content off the content that you like seeing from other people. That goes for, honestly, like YouTube videos. That's what I do. I look at other people's content, I'm like, that's a really good idea. Like, I'm gonna do that on my own. Like, you know, tweak it, make it your own, but you don't have to be unique in everything you do. It's unique because it's you, and you're a new person and you're saying it in a new way, or you're displaying it in a new way. Okay, so just model it off of things that you already know and like. And so another tip is to just make your content visually appealing. Maybe invest in a nicer camera, or I mean, just a nicer iPhone is good, but honestly, you don't have to do any of that. If you just have any phone that works, doesn't need to be elaborate. There's a lot of different photo editing apps. I'll put the ones that I use down below. I need to switch mine up, so if you guys have any suggestions of what apps I should use for photo editing, let me know, because I kind of want to switch mine up. They're kind of getting outdated, and I only use the free services on all of them. So but yeah, just make it visually appealing. You know, you don't want things to be too crowded, too messy. You can black and white your background. Portrait mode on the new iPhones is great. It just makes it really easy. So yeah, visually appealing. Choose what colors you want. You don't have to make them all in like a certain preset. I don't do that, but a lot of people do, and that looks really nice. You know, do what you want to do. The next tip would just be to post consistently, and that does not mean post every day. I feel like that was a thing for a long time, and I think people are kind of getting over that idea that you need to be posting every day, especially because the algorithm now does not favor that, I feel like. But even from the beginning, I was like, I am not going to be posting every day, because honestly, like, do you guys need to be seeing me every day? I feel like that would be annoying to me, especially when you're growing your account. You don't want to be like timid about it, but if I just met someone, I don't want them in my face every single day. And so, you know, just make it a modest goal that you can accomplish. For me, recently I've been trying to post 4 times a week, and that seems like pretty good for me. That's almost every other day. I don't always hit that. I haven't done it, especially recently, but that's like a very reasonable goal. Maybe 5 days a week. You do want to be posting enough, because when people interact with your content, then it's going to come up on their page more. But if you're not posting a lot, they don't have a lot of opportunity to interact with it, and then you're just not going to be favored in the algorithm. So as I said before, people build relationships with people that they know and that they trust. And in trusting people, you build trust by sharing things about yourselves and being vulnerable. That kind of comes off with the hangout factor too. It's just your vulnerability. Share things that make you feel vulnerable, because there are going to be people who really relate to that and that resounds with them. So they're going to be more inclined. They're going to be like, oh wow, like I understand this, and I feel like they feel like you know them better. They feel like you just let them in on a little secret about yourself because you did, and they feel like they can trust you more now because they know you're telling the truth. You're being open with them. You're not just being like, I feel great every single day, balls to the walls, or die, squat or die. Sorry. But you know, just be like, damn, like I didn't feel like doing this today. Maybe I did it. Maybe I took a long nap, and you know what? That's fine. And with being vulnerable, share things on your story. Use your story. Your story is a great tool, and I love using the stories. They're really easy, and they're just a great way to show your everyday life, and people get more glimpses into that, and they relate to that. They're like, again, the hangout factor becomes so much more real, and you feel like you can be, for me, I feel like I'm just a lot more candid. I'm a lot funnier on my stories than I am in my posts, because my posts, I sit down, write it out. Also, I'll give you some tips on captions in a minute, so stick with me. But yeah, I'm just a lot more candid in my stories, and talking stories are great. People being able to hear your voice is great. Though with that being said, try to keep them not super long. You know, a little long of the talking story is fine, but when they become like miles long, people just skip over it, and it kind of becomes more annoying than anything, especially when they don't know you. I still do this, but I feel like some people are at least watching it because they know me and they want to hear what I have to say. But when it's just someone you don't really know, someone you maybe just followed, you're not necessarily as interested. So keep that in mind. And when you do talking stories, caption your stories. So try to sum up kind of things that you said on each slide, because a lot of people are watching it with their sound off and kind of just clicking through. But if they read it, they kind of get the gist of it, or they're tempted to turn on their sound and actually listen to it. So it's a good tip, instead of people just scrolling through. Also, with knowing you, show your face, okay? I see so many people just showing with like selfies with their phone right here, and you can see maybe an eye, and you just don't feel like you know them as well because they never show their face. And you're beautiful. You're all beautiful. You're very attractive, and your face deserves to be shown. Also, when you're taking a selfie, this is my tips. I just like looking at the screen. You don't need to be like, I feel like it makes me feel uncomfortable when I see myself do that. Like, so just look at it. It's fine. You don't need to be looking at the other camera or the mirror. Make good, informative captions and make them easy to read. Instead of a big paragraph, make sure to space them out. I don't really like using a ton of emojis, but adding a little color here and there and like emotion is great. So use your emojis. Try not to overuse them. And for captions, spacing them out. I have a present for you guys that have made it so far through. I'm gonna put down below, but what I do for my captions, I type them out in my notes, which is essential, because if you just type it out in the Instagram and it doesn't post, you lose that whole caption, and that sucks having to retype it. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna type it out in your notes, you're gonna copy it into the website that I'm putting down below, and this keeps your spaces. So then you copy it into the website and then paste it from the website into Instagram caption, and it keeps all your spaces. Otherwise, if you just paste it from your notes to your Instagram, you lose your spaces, and it's really annoying. And I struggled with it for a long time, like space, period, space, period, and the notes squish it, whatever. So you guys, this is your present. I didn't learn that for a long time, and it's a lifesaver, literally. Try to keep your captions informative. People like learning things, and they like knowing where their information come from. I find it's really cool to learn other things. I don't necessarily love when people just have caption after caption after caption of like 2 words or like 1 quote. I don't know. It just doesn't feel as genuine, and it doesn't feel like content that I want to be consuming all the time. So if you're trying to be a more informative, like fitness-based thing, try to make your captions a little bit more informative and have some sustenance to them, rather than just like, I love green, smile today, even though that's fine once in a while, but you know. Okay, whew. Sorry guys, this is a long video, but I really hope it helps, because I do think these are some great tips, and I haven't heard a lot of people say them, so here I am. The other thing is, make your Instagram a business profile. You can change the settings, and then you can see all the infographics. That's not the word. Oh, it's insights and demographics. I combined it. But check your insights, because they're really helpful in seeing like what posts are doing best, and just in general like what time people are on the most, so you get the most interaction when you post. I don't pay attention to this all the time, because usually if it's a good post, it'll get good interaction anyways. But for me, I've noticed that, like, especially during quarantine recently, my posts do best when I post it in the morning at like 10 or 11 a.m. And that's not always the case, but recently that's what I've noticed. Before, it'd be like, I feel like at like 4 p.m. it would do really good. So it switches, and just look to see when people are on most. And you can also check your demographics. And for me, like, I have been working so hard to get my guy demographics down and my woman demographics up, because I had a higher percentage of men than I do women, and I wanted more women than men. But originally, when my account was growing, a lot of the viral pictures were like booty pics, so of course those are the ones that are gonna go viral, and then I get a bunch of male followers, which is fine. But I mean, I just try to tailor it to things I think maybe might resonate more with women. But do whatever you want to do. Getting posts to go viral is a bit of a key for growing your Instagram, because that's honestly the majority of time that I get the most followers, is just when a post gets a ton of likes and stuff. And honestly, those are usually the ones that I'm doing like a booty pose, if I'm being completely honest. So I don't really have any suggestions for that, of how to get a photo to go viral. I don't really know. For me, it's just like by the chance of the luck, chance of the draw. Yeah. So I don't really have any suggestions on that. If you guys know how to get a video to go viral, let me know. That would be helpful. Okay, so just last few little things. One thing is switch up your poses. You don't want to be doing the exact same pose in every photo, because when people click on your page, it just seems kind of boring, and you don't want to be seeing the exact same photo every day. So try to switch them up. You know, you don't have a ton, but just look at other people's pages and try out the poses. That's what I do. I try to switch it up. Doesn't always work, but I do my best. And I should have put this at the very, very beginning, but maybe I'll interject it at the beginning. Be yourself. Be yourself. Though, try not to be a bitch, okay? That's in my view. These are all my personal opinions, honestly, so don't come at me later. But like, I don't really want to be following someone who's like constantly complaining or constantly like putting out negative energy, because that's what I'm seeing every day, and I don't want to be consuming more negative energy than I need to be. Express your struggles, express your things, but don't be mean about it, and don't be attacking people. You don't need to be putting more negative energy out there. There's so much negative energy. You're better than that, okay? And what you focus on is what you get, okay? So all in all, if you're starting an account, do it. Do it. Now is the best time. Now. Start now. There is no reason to not. Plus, like, we're in quarantine, like everyone's sitting around, you might as well start now, okay? Get creative with your posts. Post what you want. Be you, because that's what makes your account cool, because it's you. It's not like anyone else, okay? You can model it off people's. You can do whatever you want. It's always gonna be you. Or maybe it's your art. Maybe it's, I don't know who's watching, but it's gonna be unique because it's unique to you. And that's what makes it cool, and that's what people want to engage. Be friendly. Oh, I forgot this. Engage with your followers. When you post something, respond to comments, respond to your DMs. Eventually, if your account grows so much that you can't, that's okay. But other than that, like, you should be responding to people, and you should be engaging with other people's contents. You can form relationships, and that's one of the coolest things about social media, is that you can be friends with people from all over with so many different experiences, and you get to be a part of that. So engage with people. Be friendly. Give people the benefit of the doubt. Also know that if people are sending you weird messages, the block button is right there. You can block them super easily. Do it. Don't have any second thoughts. There's a ton of weird accounts out there, and honestly, you'll probably be following some weird accounts when you first start following people from the hashtags. Ignore that. It's kind of a rough time to get through, to look at your feed and be like, but yeah. All right. I hope you guys found this helpful. Let me know if you did. I know this is gonna be long, but I'm probably not gonna cut it out because I felt like it was really helpful. Please let me know if you also thought it was helpful, and I will see you guys in the next video. Also, make sure to like and subscribe, baby.